my top 10 favorite board games of summer 2020. Thank you for joining me today at Tantrum House Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Now, usually we put out some top 10 board game videos for conventions like Origins or Gen Con or things like that from the summer, but of course we didn't have conventions this summer, but we did play lots of board games and new board games, so I wanted to put together a list of my favorite board games from summer 2020. So let's get started. Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. Now, this game can play any number of players, but I think it plays best around that 3 or 4 player count. It plays in about 2 hours and is published by the Op. Players will be working together to figure out the clues and find their way out of the Haunted Mansion, and you will be taking on the roles of those meddling kids and their courageous canine pal. I like that this game is co-op, and it has that escape room style game, and the theme is integrated so well into this game. At the bottom of the box it says a Coded Chronicles game, and I'm really interested in what the Op will bring, what kind of intellectual properties the Op will bring in future games that uses the same system. And Melissa did a how to play video for the game as well. You can check that out right there. Cosmic Colonies from Floodgate Games. This game is for 1 to 5 players, takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play. Throughout the game, players are drafting cards, gathering resources, and buying Tetris-like tiles to lay on their personal board, trying of course to get the most points. I really like the hand management part of the game, the resource management. I love these polyomino tiles where you're trying to fit all the pieces right on your board. There's also like simultaneous play, which I really appreciate in the game, and I like that there's 2 sort of different modes in the game. There's the basic mode and then there's an advanced mode where you're using a different deck of cards, and on those cards there are day abilities and night abilities, and I think I like the advanced game just a little bit more. Fort from Leader Games. It plays 2 to 4 players and plays in about 20 to 40 minutes. In the game, you're growing your circle of friends, collecting pizza and toys, and building the coolest fort. At the heart of the game is deck building, and there's a pretty cool follow mechanic. I think the follow mechanic is what sort of separates this kind of deck building game out, because it keeps players engaged throughout the whole game. I really like the artwork of the game. You can see my review video of Fort right up there. My City from Cosmos. This is for 2 to 4 players, and each game takes about 30 minutes to play. Now this game has a legacy version and a non-legacy version. The legacy game has 24 games in it, and you're sort of starting your own city in the pre-industrial stages, going all the way to full industrialization. This mainly has tile laying in it, and to me, My City is the legacy game. I tried both versions. I played all 24 games. Melissa and I did a review video of My City, and I love the legacy version of the game. I also like how the game sort of is divided into chapters, so you're not just having to play all 24 games at once. You can sort of divide it up into 3 games per chapter, so it works out really well for those 8 chapters. It just flows really well from chapter to chapter. Sonora from Pandasaurus Games is for 1 to 4 players, takes about 30 to 45 minutes to play. In the game, players are flicking their own wooden discs that are numbered onto the game board. There's different landscapes that they're trying to land on, trying to get points. This is sort of a mixture of dexterity, the flicking part, with a roll and write game combined together. I've played Crokinole, and of course I've played lots of roll and write games, and I feel like this is a good combination of those 2 games together. I like the interaction that goes on in this game, and I feel like this is a type of game that you can get better and better at as you're sort of finessing those discs in the right spots. And Will and Sarah did a review video of Sonora that you can check out right up there. Hues and Cues from the Op is for 3 to 10 players, takes about 30 minutes to play. This game's all about colorful communication, where players are challenged to make connections to colors with words, 1-word cues and 2-word cues. It sort of reminds me a little bit of code names with the word associations. For Hues and Cues, I like to have fun with it, trying to think of unique words or fun words, maybe words that have references to pop culture like Yoshi for green or SpongeBob for yellow or things like that. Mariposas from AEG is for 2 to 5 players, takes about 45 to 75 minutes to play. The game's all about the migration of monarch butterflies on their journey along eastern North America. It has grid movement and set collection. The theme really comes through in the game as you're playing your own cards, moving your butterflies along different paths, and also the objective cards. I feel like that also brings a theme out as you're trying to get your butterflies to certain spots and then migrating them back down so that you can get lots of points. Will and Sarah did a video of Mariposas that you can check out right up there. Whistle Mountain from Bezier Games is for 2 to 4 players, takes about 60 to 90 minutes to play. In the game, your workers are building arrays of scaffolds and machines, you're upgrading your abilities and collecting your resources, and you're doing this all with your airship fleet as the mountain's snow is melting, causing the water below to rise higher and higher. This game has worker placement, it has tile placement. I like the decisions that you're making, what airship should I use? There's different sizes. I like the starting powers that sort of give you a direction to play, so it makes each game a little more fresh every time you play it. And I love the tension in the game with the water level that's rising higher and higher. You can check out my video of Whistle Mountain right up there. One of Melissa and my favorite games of 2019 was this game, The Lord of the Rings, Journeys in Middle-earth, and Fantasy Flight released an expansion called Shadowed Paths. The expansion brings new heroes like Gandalf, enemies, terrain, and items, and an all-new campaign containing 13 new scenarios as you walk the tangled paths of Mirkwood. If you're not familiar with this game, this is a cooperative adventure game. Melissa and I have played the first campaign twice, really enjoyed that. We actually liked the Hunt for the Ember Crown, another campaign. I think I like that even a little bit more than the first campaign. And now you have the Shadowed Paths expansion. And the first 2 scenarios were okay, but once we hit like scenario 3 of that campaign, man, things just really started getting better and better. I've really enjoyed where Shadowed Paths is going and even the decisions that we're able to make as a team. Tekhenu Obelisk of the Sun from Board and Dice. This is for 1 to 4 players and takes about 1 to 2 hours to play. This is a dice drafting game where there is a big obelisk in the middle that casts its shadows on different areas that will affect where and how you play your dice throughout the game. First of all, I love dice drafting games, and I love games that are simple in their actions yet complex. What I mean is, all you're doing here in Tekhenu is taking a die, but what you do with that die is really important. Are you taking that die for resources? Are you taking that die for the action? And there's different actions that you can take around the obelisk board. I really have enjoyed my plays of Tekhenu. You can check out Melissa and my review video of Tekhenu right up there. I hope you enjoyed this top 10 list for games that we've played this summer of 2020. The next top 10 list that we'll probably work on is the Essen video, the games that I'm anticipating for the fall, the Essen Spiel video that I have done in the past. Let me know what your favorite games have been this summer. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what games you've been playing this summer and which ones you've really enjoyed, which ones are your favorite. Thanks again for watching, and be sure to like this video and subscribe to Tantrum House.